Hello, I'm on the way to the gym. I tried to wake up earlier. Yesterday I went to the gym at 10 a.m. So I woke up a little bit earlier at 9 to go to the gym. And I love my gym fit. Wanted to come on here and talk about the shadow work I've been doing. It has really been a journey, y'all. It has really made me cry, made me realize the flaws in my childhood upbringing that results in the lack of relationships I have today. And it really turned my world upside down for a bit because I didn't realize the impact that my childhood had on me today. And I always knew there was something wrong, like an underlying flaw, kind of like turmoil somewhere that went sideways in my childhood. And I was yelled at and spanked as a child, and as a highly sensitive person, that did leave a profound impact on me of feeling unworthy, low self-esteem, not being able to stand up for myself, shyness, introversionness, not wanting to talk, afraid of getting hit or yelled at for what I said. And that's why that's probably why I haven't reached all of my goals I want to reach, because it had took away the aggressiveness out of me that was literally there when I was a child. And it made me a little docile, quiet, I just don't like it. And my father is dead, so I can't really call him up and tell him hey, why'd you do this? It wasn't right. I don't really like that. And I feel like he got away easily. In our last conversation before he died, he was ready to go. He had no worries in the world. He lived out his dream. And he left with peace. Okay, he left with peace. And that's a big thing about me. Is I do need to express myself to people instead of stuffing down my emotions, especially before they die. Because if they die, then they just be all happy that they did that thing, no thoughts about it. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, healing these inner childhood wounds. I started to feel like it was a waste of my time, because I was wow, I could be focusing this energy on making money I want to, but I'm wait, I have to fix these unresolved issues so I won't self-sabotage in relationships, making friends, or money. So it is really annoying, that I do have to sit down and go through this. And, once I dig up the wound, it makes me angry. And then I clear it out. And then I say, you know what? I forgive them. They did the best they could or whatever at the time. And I just let it go. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. And then I implement, positive thoughts into my mind. But right now, right now, I feel like I'm kind of on the fence of my subconscious and unconscious brain waves right now. So I'm kind of I feel like my soul or brain is kind of integrating right now. So I am feeling a bit wonky. Okay, that is a sign to look out for when you're doing shadow work. So I probably need to not socialize at this time. So yeah, I realized my whole life I've been surrounded by narcissistic people, and I do think that is because I never addressed the issues or confronted my parents within childhood or my siblings about what was going on in the home, about the yelling and the fighting and the conflict. And so I felt like the universe kept on showing me that lesson, kept bringing narcissistic people into my life so I can finally stand up to them, speak out, say, hey, I don't like this, please stop, or I'm gonna go, present how I'm feeling with the consequence. And if they break that, then I leave. I was in a situation where I would just leave. I wouldn't say anything, I would just leave. And then the situation kept happening over and over and over. So my whole life, I've been surrounded by narcissists, friends, whether it's in a job, whether it's in anywhere, pretty much. I've just naturally attracted these types of people. because I have a lesson to stand up to them and speak what's on my mind and handle it instead of just walking away. And I thought walking away was the right thing to do, blocking them. I do that a lot, but it's really not. And I learned that from this therapist on YouTube. She was saying walking away is dismissive. She was saying it's a dysregulated emotion. It's a dysregulated action. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't know I had to like actually talk to these people, right? I thought I could just like say as less as possible and like get them out my life. But if I want to change my paradigm and attract more empathetic, happy people who are willing to do their inner work, willing to change themselves to make the world a better place and make themselves more healthy for other people, like I'm doing now, then I do have to, treat them like human beings for a fraction of a second, if they do want to, hear me out, and go from there, engage a little bit and see how I handle that. And then once I do express myself, present my boundary, I confront them, see how that goes, and then, go about my life. I think that will bring about more healthy people into my life. I do block narcissists a lot. I do. I've recently done that with, I'm not even going to talk about it in case they see this video. That would be awkward, okay? But I do block them a lot, okay? And in real life, I'll just like not entertain them. But I'm not gonna do that anymore because I want to change my paradigm. I am willing to clear out the old to bring in the new. So I'm going about things differently now, and I'm like I'm at a point to where I was doing the shadow book work journal, and I realized that when something is like bothering me, I unconsciously seek validation from other people, or I'll try to like overeat, I'll try to like get a snack, I'll try to like just walk away. And that is like my avoidance kicking in because I don't want to confront the problem. And this is helping me with being okay with confrontation. I'm not going to run away from the situation. I'm going to sit there and go through the hard emotions because that's what relationships are about, right? I'm not going to go in the kitchen, get a snack, and make myself feel good temporarily, or, reach for, what would I be reaching for? A lot of times I'll go on my phone and play chess because that's fun for me. And while it is it's a neutral thing to do, not harming me, it is distracting and taken away from my time where I need to either sit down and focus on the problem at hand. So I don't have any super harmful, overeating is harmful, but I stopped that, okay? And also I'll start to, another toxic thing that I realized I would do is I would think on like a past relationship with a guy and try to blame him for everything. That's so not good. That's a projection, okay? I don't want to do that to people at all. That person they didn't do anything. This is all my fault, okay? This is all my fault. I take 100% full responsibility of my flaws and how I've created my own reality. Because I created all of this. I created my own reality and I clearly see where I created it. So I'm excited to clear out all of this gunk, Yeah, I'm excited to clear out all of this gunk to attract better, okay? And it's unfortunate because I didn't know I would have to like go through all of this. And you wonder why some people just show up to places and attract what they want, even though they probably have not done inner work. I really don't know what the logic is behind that, but I can't compare myself to others. I'm just fully taking on the responsibility. Because I realize when I go out to freestyle, I can be in a room surrounded by millionaires, people, great people who I admire, aspire to be like, or even want to engage in conversation with. And you know who would come sit next to me? The loser in the room. The loser in the room will come and sit next to me. The person that does not own a business will come and sit next to me in a place full of business owners. And that's where I knew I had a problem, because it kept happening. And I'm like, what is it about me? I'm getting compliments left and right, but what is it about my energy that is attracting this type of person? And it's my father. It's my father. It's my father, you guys. You know, my father was a Dusty. I mean, he wasn't like a level 10 Dusty. He was like, you know, sometimes he was dusty and he did the bare minimum to not be completely dusty. So that's what I've been attracting out in this world. And it doesn't really resonate with who I am down to my core. And so I know if I clear these, I wouldn't even call it a father wound, because I got father and mom wounds. I just need to clear this, I would say, generational chaos to attract better, to attract what feels more authentic. Because once I grew up and I realized who my father was, I didn't even really want to be around him. I was like, oh wow, I thought you were great, but then I grew up and saw you weren't great. And you know, love him. I'm so thankful for everything he's done. I don't know how the sperm reached the egg. I don't think that ever should have happened, honestly. But I'm here, okay? And I'm doing the best with what I have. However, yeah, that's a lot to take in, I know. But yeah, the man who will come and sit next to me is like a replica of my father's energy. And, you know, my father was not, he had his own business, but it wasn't like a 6-figure business. He was doing his best for a while. I don't even know if that was, I can't even say that was his best, because there's so many options in the world. You know, even if you are like, if you're not able to work physically, like you can still do things on a computer. I just don't know. I'm not here to bash my father. I loved my father. We shared so many beautiful moments. We used to go feed the ducks together. We used to go to the corner store together. You know, all of the regular activities. We used to watch scary movies together. Broke people activities, I guess. No, but seriously, I'm thankful for my father. You know, it could have been worse. It could have been better, but it is what it is. And I'm willing to cut through all of these, you know, all of the, I would say all of the garbage that he left, all of the garbage that my ancestors left. I am willing to clean up all of this shit to get to what I want. Yeah, and what I deserve fully, wholeheartedly. I also did ancestral clearing karma. That was very interesting and powerful. I had all of my ancestors come before me, line up. We cleared out so many toxins within the family generation: gambling, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, emotional turmoil, not emotionally regulating yourself, not talking out your emotions, stuffing things down, keeping grudges, sex addictions, lust, not having standards, not having boundaries, being too docile, being too submissive, being too aggressive, being too chaotic. You know, so many generational trauma issues to clear out. The alcoholism was a really big one. From where I'm from, New Orleans, Louisiana, you know, that alcohol is everywhere. And that does affect a lot of my family members. I don't really have that problem, but I do know my family members have that problem. However, I'm not an independent division here. If it affects my family, it affects me, okay? That's gonna cross over. And doing this trauma work makes me realize how energy works. Just because I don't have an alcohol addiction doesn't mean that the alcohol addiction that my half-sister has, that my cousin has, that my uncle from 3 generations ago had will not affect me, because it does. Energy spills over on a genetic level. And If I don't clear things now, even though I'm not physically seeing the manifestation, I can clear it out for somebody who may come down the line. If I have children, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. If I'm even qualified to reproduce after all of this mess, yeah, we'll see. But yeah. What else did I clear out? The gambling thing. That was big on my aunt. I'm sure it was somebody else had the issue. Whew, there's a lot of trash, you guys. There's a lot of trash to clear out. And I'm not calling anyone trash. I'm just saying, there's residue here. And what else was it? The emotional regulation thing is really, really, really big. Because if you're not taught to have standards and boundaries, if you're just out willy-nilly crossing other people's boundaries, being too aggressive, fighting, yelling, screaming, cursing, we're not going to do any of that anymore. That is not good. That's for a 2-year-old throwing a tantrum. We can't do that as adults. We also can't stuff down our feelings and be quiet like my grandmother did. There's this toxic dynamic that runs in my bloodline, and I've seen it in other people's bloodline that I attract. Yeah, let's talk about it. There's this toxic dynamic of the docile, submissive, overly submissive woman who doesn't speak out, and the overly aggressive man who just runs over everybody like a bulldozer and nobody tells him anything. That's disgusting. I'm never gonna let that dynamic happen again. I saw that between my mom and dad. I see it, I feel it between my grandparents, my mom's dad and my mom's mom. I see that between them. It was even worse between them. Wish I would have got a chance to talk to my grandmother. Really would have loved to share some words with her, share some energy with her, really kind of like upgrade her, just take her out of that mess. Just try to do something to, make her realize a little bit of her power. And that's as far as I can go back. I don't know why my family is like that. Like I can only go back like maybe one generation. I have to fight to go back another generation. It's like people don't talk. Like I don't know why the family doesn't really talk about family. Like they just don't really like communicate much at all. They only talk about their mom and dad. They don't talk about anything past that. I don't even know why. I don't know why. But, it makes me think I need to, write, journal, have a book so people can, I did change my name. I kind of feel like I need to start. There's just so much gunk in my family lineage. I just need to start everything over. And I am changing my name to break some of these generational curses because I just don't want to carry around a name that doesn't resonate with me. And I have every right to feel that way and every right to do so. And I don't care if my family gets offended. They didn't help me with this inner work. They didn't set the standard for what was to come. They didn't even talk about it. So I feel like they don't have any room to get upset about me changing my name. And it's nothing against anybody else. This is what makes me feel confident. I don't feel confident with my name. I need to get this name off me. I feel like it is a curse in itself just because of the way things are playing out in my life that don't reflect who I am to my core. But that's a whole other topic about my name. I'm gonna go into a really deeper video about the name thing because there is a history behind my name, how it happened. And it actually said a lot for how I was treated within my childhood as well. So people try to pass down these roles in my family. They have the scapegoat, and I was kind of they tried to push me into that role, and that's the person I was named after, the scapegoated one, the one who people are just shun away. It's a mess. It is a mess, and I'm excited to just go through all of this gunk and just get rid of it because it disgusts me. We should be better than this. And you know what is really really like what's really difficult is about this. We have this huge gap in my family. Most of my family members are older, like in their 60s. And the younger people, there's only like a few of us because we're not having as many kids as the older generation did. My grandma popped out 12 children out of her vagina. I can't even fathom popping out one without clearing all of this energy. And 12, can you believe it? I'm like traumatized just hearing about it. Okay? And there's just like this huge gap in the family of like the younger generation, millennials, and then there's a few 80s babies, and then there's like all of the older, there's so many older people. And the gap is so big, it's like hard to even communicate because they're from like a totally different world. They're from a world where you shut up and take the abuse. They're from a world where you don't put up boundaries. Things are just the way they are. They're from a world where, you know, we put people in places. We put you as this one to take all the abuse. We put you as this one to put on the pedestal. Like that's their world. And it just, I feel like it does come from like the slave mentality of, you know, just living out all of your sins and then being a good person in church and then go ahead and live out all your sins like church didn't even happen. Like you're just going to pretend for that one moment in church to be a good person, and then all hell breaks loose when church is over. You go back to your addictions of overeating, of drinking alcohol, cursing out others, stuffing down your feelings, just living a life of low vibration. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to tolerate that. I never want anybody to live like that, ever. And it's a lot to clear out, but I'm willing to do the work. I'm having fun with the work because I'm learning a lot about energy. You know, I love working with different energies, and I'm learning so much. Like, this is the definition of alchemy here. And I'm excited to see what I'll come out like on the other side. I really don't know. I feel like I'm in this strange moment of being in the middle of my subconscious and my conscious and trying to merge the two together right now. And I realize that I'm getting the urge to want to socialize, to be able to go out into the world and practice what I've learned. But my intuition told me not yet. I'm not ready to socialize. I tried to go to the bookstore yesterday and it was closed. And something happened. They had like police yellow tape everywhere with a fire truck and a police car. And I'm like, how ironic is that I go out to the bookstore and it's closed? You know, that was a clear message for me that I need to go home and that I need to just like have my hermit mode to get through these blockages and clear out all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm excited, you guys. It's painful, it hurts, I've cried, you know, I've isolated, probably need to isolate some more, but I'm excited to express what I'm going through right now. And I'm also excited to assert myself out into the world. I feel like I need to make up for lost time where I wasn't asserting myself, where I was just like, I was taught to just like shut up and let crazy people do what they do in order to keep the peace in my house. And I was very powerful as a kid, and I think that really triggered my parents and my siblings. And in order to keep the harmony in the house, I had to shut myself down. But I feel like I wish I would have, you know, stood in my power as a child and stood up to people. I've seen children stand up to adults, children that strong, stand up to adults. And I'm like, wow, I should have done that. I could have done that. I wanted to do that. But that's all right, because I'm going to do that today. So yeah, I think you guys should get the Shadow Work Journal book. It is great, especially if you have maybe a toxic family that has a lot of low vibrational traits. That would be great for you to do. So yeah, I'm going to go to the gym. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have done shadow work, if you're going to do shadow work, if you want to do shadow work, and what your experience was like with it. Oh, I also did get a little sick, you guys. I got like a cold out of nowhere. I think I am clearing out so much energy at once that, you know, my system kind of got jammed. And I do need to take some time out to spend time out in nature to kind of play catch up. I feel like something inside of me is moving at such a fast rate that my maybe reality needs to catch up with. And it's a weird feeling. Have any of you felt that before? I don't know. I'm over here feeling like an alien. Let me know if you guys can relate. Thanks. Bye. So with all of this energy work, I am definitely moving my body more just to, upgrade my body, let it release old energy, and have the capacity to just, you know, intake more energy while I release old energy. And I've been having so much fun with this. I've been running more. I've been jump roping. Jump rope is my favorite form of exercise right now. It's just so much fun. And I just love like doing the kind to where I'm kicking my knees up to my chest. It feels really good in my lower body. And it feels like I'm stomping the ground. So it does help release energy. But yeah, I always loved moving my body. That is one thing about me that I will never stop doing. And I never realized how much it helped upgrade my everything, like mentally, physically, emotionally. Moving my body has done wonders for me, and I didn't even realize it until I got a little bit older. I am so thankful I was put in dance class at a young age, and moving my body is just such an energetic upgrade. Like, I can't even describe the amount of benefits it gives me. And I do have my level up goals on my body. I do want to get thinner. And I'm also working on my skin. I do want to eliminate a lot of skin discoloration. Working on getting my knees less dark. Using glycolic acid. I have to make sure to put it on my knees and my elbows every night. I do get lazy with that. I saw it working and then I stopped. So I got to stay consistent with my skincare goals for sure. But it's so great when you're leveling up how everything just correlates to you becoming this awesome human being. And it's the smallest things that you really don't even notice how much of an impact it's having on you until you look at yourself years later and you're like, wow, the consistency pays off with everything, whether that's journaling, crying, squatting, going to the gym, working on your skincare, talking it out with family members, releasing old energy, crying, screaming, shouting, getting all of those yucky energies out, blocking people who no longer serve you, releasing everything from the past, letting go of any low vibrational activities that you have,